All right. So we haven't done one of these for a while, but as you do your puzzle, um, I am thinking about a question that came up in my head after talking with some people this week. So should I ask you the question first and then you ask it to me?
Sure.
Okay. So basically, my question is it okay or right or a good thing to do to give advice to people or try to help them when they're talking about an issue that's like serious for them or that they're concerned about, or maybe they're going through something, but you don't actually have personal experience with the topic that you're talking to them about? So I guess I could give an example. Um, so someone comes to you and um, wants to know, like, um, well, let's say they come to me and say, all right, have I'm having a really hard time like dealing with anger against my, I don't know, aunt or something like that, and they raised me, but I'm struggling with forgiveness or something like that. And I right away go and like start talking to them about how yes, I believe in forgiveness, and I think that's the best thing to do. Um, what do you think? Is that helpful, or what are your thoughts on that whole like area of life?
I think it probably depends on the situation, or like who you're talking to, and what you're talking about.
Okay.
So like when it comes to something like that, where it's like a religious belief or like a value that you have, like forgiveness. Like I have talked to some of my friends who've been through really horrible stuff, and like they say, "Oh, I forgive," or maybe they can't quite forgive or whatever it is.
Right.
And of course, I encourage them to forgive, but like at the same time, I haven't been through that. So, like, in a way, I don't have a right to talk, but if it's a value that I have, then I think it's different than just. A value is different than just giving your opinion. So, like, say somebody comes along and, I don't know, they have a problem with something in my house or something, they just. Whatever. It's different when you're just like picking a fight just because you don't really like something.
Yeah.
But rather than like trying to help somebody or like have a
Concern for them
yeah.
because you care about them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like to me, like, okay, I don't have any children, but like if I see somebody else's kids doing something crazy, maybe I should go to the parent and be like, it's probably not great that you let your kids do that.
Yeah.
I don't have kids, so who am I to talk? But, like, there are certain times in which, like, some things are just obvious.
True. Do you think that there's a danger in society right now or in pop culture to be very so careful about, it's not even not offending people, but like taking away like the rights that they have to have the opinions or do what they want to do, that this becomes like, maybe if you'd said that to somebody's, like talk to someone's kids and told them to be careful or stop what they're doing, maybe someone could turn around and be like, that's totally not your place, like you don't know what you're talking about. Like do you see like people becoming more like, how do you say it, more attached to like their own opinions, or like what, defensive, or do you feel like there are more walls than maybe there has been before, like in society, as far as like who can say what to who?
Yeah, absolutely. Even just in this country, the whole culture wars, the whole CRT thing, it goes on and on. The LGBTQ community, basically any group you want to pick, you can't say anything to. You can't even if it's a belief you have, like not just an opinion, but like something you feel in your spirit, it's still, you're then labeled as a bigot or something.
Yeah.
You can't really say what you want to do. It was very interesting. I was reading this article today about this couple who's expecting their first child, and the husband is really mad because the wife is stuck on they know they're having a girl and she wants to pick gender neutral names and she will not budge to the point where she's like, I'm gonna sign the birth certificate without you. I don't care what you think. And that's like that's extreme because the husband's like, well, there's nothing wrong with traditional names. And she's like, no, what if they want to transition when they're older, so we should give them a gender, like literally this is a couple. So I don't really know how you fix that, but like it's kind of bizarre. Our world has become that way.
Because, I mean, it seems like in marriage, like for us, there has to be a give and take, and you have to be willing to take something sometimes. If there's an argument or something, you have to be willing to hear even if you disagree.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to hear even if you disagree, or listen even if you disagree, then I think you will lose friends quickly, but not just lose friends, you'll also miss your family, and you'll also miss out on like growing as a person because you're stuck in your own ideas. I think.
So like I guess to answer the question, there is sometimes that place for giving advice, or maybe it's just like a warning or something, even if you haven't been through it yourself technically. But sometimes there's also that place where you need to just be quiet and maybe the person's just really struggling and all you need to do is just let them know that you're their friend and you're there.
Yeah.
But not say anything because it's not going to help. And it might just end up hurting them if you just talk and talk.
Yeah, totally. Like I've definitely done that to people once. And then afterwards I'm like, oh, wow, like maybe I should have just listened or something like that. Yeah, it's very true. So I think it's both. But I think we more fall on the side because there's a lot of real ramifications for like getting in trouble with things around race and gender and religion nowadays. People have lost their jobs. We all know about Supreme Court cases that have come up around those three issues or whatever. We are very hesitant to be upfront about those things, obviously in a respectful way. Has to be. I'm a big believer in being respectful to other people.
Yeah.
But I think if you're a believer, we should challenge ourselves to more to be able to talk and listen and talk and listen again and again, so that we can actually like help each other rather than just being like afraid of a conflict, and then no one grows in the situation, and all different communities and different peoples and whatever just stay separate and families break apart, like the example you gave with that article and the names of the baby. Like that's just, things won't progress because it's difficult to progress if you can't talk.
Yeah.
So, and respect each other even if you disagree, like care about the deeper sides of a person rather than just, even if it is something about race or like someone, even a racist person, like they're still a person, but am I going to get stuck on the fact that they're racist or see further than that? And that's definitely one thing that I think is lost in our culture, is that people's sins, people's sins define them, and there's no space for them to change. And I want people to believe I can change and become better. I want you to believe that about me. So why do we do that? Like, why do we just, it's so easy to just label people and then say, oh, they're the sinful person that did that. And now that they did that, that's who they are, and they're going to be that till the day they die, so it's over. Well, if we're saying that around the place, that's going to come back and get us pretty fast, I think.
Yeah.
So that's what I think about it.
It's a good question.
Cool. So let us know what you think, and have a great rest of your day.